Hey guys, welcome to NTL Outdoors. Um, the main content with this channel is probably going to be fishing, but one of my favorite pastimes besides fishing is actually playing bags or cornhole, however you want to say it. So I'll probably be posting videos of that. Probably just do random videos of me playing pool or some stupid shit. I don't know. Something I think's interesting, I'll just bring my GoPro with me and catch the action as I go, I suppose. But plan is to go fishing tomorrow morning, and I'm gonna kind of run you guys through my little setup here, so let's get started. Alright, I'll start you guys off with the setup. So first, with the line, I got Googan Squad 15-pound mono, and the reel is a Shimano SLX DC, which my brother is always a Corrados and the Metamium, stuff like that. He real bougie. SLX is the way to go, especially with the Googan Green. This is a reaction. This paired up is money. It just is a love potion for your hand. But I'm going to be fishing the river tomorrow, so I'm thinking I'm probably going to look for like crankbaits, spinners, basically just small like minnow fish imitation. I am going to be going early, so I might try a little topwater. Don't know yet. I'm going to take a gander in my tackle box, and I'll pick back up with you guys when I find something. Well, my final selection came down to a Carl's Special. It's called the Golden Boy, is the size that it is. They have the Fat Boy, and then they have the Little Boy, I believe. But this color right here, I don't know the name of it, but it's like a yellow. It's got like a purple on it, a black. This is the best crankbait color I've ever used in my life. The lakes and rivers, it just slays. Especially around here, around my area. The rivers aren't too terribly deep, and right now they're really low with the drought and everything we've been having. So you don't need a real big deep diving crankbait or anything like that. Like, you can run liplesses and stuff if you move them pretty quick, but a good old square bill, as you can see, he's cracked. He's got marks all over him from being chewed on and swallowed, but I think he's going to catch me a couple smallies tomorrow and possibly a walleye. And for anyone wondering, the knot that I use is a Palomar knot. If you want, you can go on YouTube, and there's plenty of how-to videos, how to do them and how to tie them. But how I do it is I wrap your line, like take your line and loop it back, so you just get one simple loop like that. You're going to take your loop, and you're going to try to put it through your hook tie. If your hook tie is too small, you can take and you can put your single line through, pull it out, and then go back through again, so you have that loop. So then you should be right here like this. So here's my loop, here's my line and my main line. It can slide freely. You're going to take your loop around your tag and your main line, pinch it off, make another loop, take your loop back through that loop. Sounds difficult, but I promise it's easy. And you're gonna cinch it down. Don't do it too tight, not until your final knot. You're gonna take that loop that you created there, and you're gonna put your bait through it and take it, and you want to lubricate, especially if you're doing it with mono like I am. You're gonna want to lubricate it all the way down until you pull it tight. Promise, that is one of the strongest knots you can tie. It's very popular with braid because you don't have to lubricate it all the way down like that with braid, but with mono you have to, otherwise you will literally, as you're tightening it down, you'll dig into your line and it'll get super weak, and you'll like burn into your own line and it'll break like nothing. And also, well, the nice thing about the DCs, so it's got the digital chip in them. They're pricey, but I promise you, if you're serious into fishing and you fish a lot, these are definitely worth it, because One of the only knobs you have to worry about, most bait casters have brakes on the side, and that's usually to do with, well, how I understand anyways, is to like the weight of your lure when you're casting. If you cast and it backlashes, you gotta play with this knob. Now this knob here is when it hits the water and your spool keeps spinning. So this is your spool tension here. So how I set my bait casters, it's nice with the SLXs and or with the DC, I guess, is what they're called. Push your button in and you want to watch your bait fall. And you want to just play with this knob and you want to loosen it just enough so when your bait touches the ground like that, you don't over spool and it just spools perfectly. So again, you want to hold your bait up, it's in the air, push the button in. So you got your bait in the air and you want to push your button in and watch your spool and watch your bait. And when your bait hits the ground, you want to make sure your spool doesn't over spool. That's how you know your tension spool is perfect. Another pro tip, I'd also advise not dropping treble hooks into the carpet because 9 times out of 10 they snag every time. So when you're doing that, do it outside or on a hard surface. And one of the other things I guess I should probably mention for our smallmouth around here in the rivers, a lot of their main forage are like crawdads and stuff. So light jigs, Texas rig, crawdads, basically stuff that you need to try to work it into the rocks. Why I love square bills is when they dive down, they hit and they ricochet off rocks. And one of the other things I guess I should probably mention for our smallmouth around here in the rivers, a lot of their main forage are like crawdads and stuff. So light jigs, Texas rig, crawdads, basically stuff that you need to try to work it into the rocks. Why I love square bills is when they dive down, they hit and they ricochet off rocks. I would say 9 out of 10 times, right when you hit that rock and ricochet off is right when they hit. Smallmouth, a lot of times you can't move it fast enough for them. Now you do run into the occasional largemouth, which they usually sit and like on the breaks of the river in the little bit calmer water. But smallmouth, I've noticed, if you're not hitting rocks with your crankbait, you're usually not in where they are, unless you're using a topwater. And from personal experience, this actually has been one of my favorite topwaters to use, just a buzzbait. This one happens to be red and black, but I had an amazing morning on it. They absolutely killed it every single time they'd hit it. But usually the color to have, this is a, well, actually I do have the exact one here. It's a KVD. It's a 1.0, but it's a sexy shad color. That color right there is pretty much the safest color to pick. Or another good one is a crawdad color, or like a red, like a fire craw, I guess, or whatever. Like a red color is usually always pretty a safe bet. But crankbaits are pretty much the easiest things. Other things are like casting spoons. One of my favorite lures is actually a spoon, a Daredevil spoon. I don't currently have one with me right now because I lost it in Boji, which RIP, but crankbaits are pretty much the best and the easiest bait to just sling around and just bang them in the rocks, because you can bang a spot over and over and over and it seems like you can just keep pulling fish. Some days they are a little bit finicky and a little bit pickier than others, but that's why tomorrow morning we're going to be walking and we are going to find them. I can guarantee that. I just probably won't use topwater in the morning. Usually my favorite topwater bait for like lakes and ponds and stuff, if there's open water, is a spook. Hands down. Love working a spook. Walking the dog, especially with a little bit more sensitive rod, you can really just sit there and zigzag that thing. And the blow-ups are always so fun to watch on those. But yeah, basically like spinners, stuff like that for the river, always a safe bet. Around here, usually the two main species I catch anyways are smallmouth and walleyes. And smallmouth are always fun. Average size is like 12-ish inches maybe, so nothing giant. Have caught a couple big ones. And the walleyes, I'd say anywhere from 16 to 18 inches is usually about the average. So pretty fun when you can find them. Sometimes you gotta work for them, which is annoying, but that's why they call it fishing and not catching. But I will continue this in the morning when we get to the river. Well, boys, we're at the river. Couple good signs. Carp are jumping. And I got a free chair already. Tell me how you can beat that. Get the line on it. First cast. A lot of minnows everywhere. Other thing that's really good to try is if you can see, I mean, this isn't a good example because it's kind of grown out, but these rock shorelines here on these spots, you want to just parallel and get as close as you can, but you got to be careful so obviously you don't bash it on the rocks on your cast. But those smallmouth will be setting up tight along shore, so the closer the better. Otherwise, fan casting obviously is always the best move there, and by that I mean just literally throwing random casts everywhere, covering ground, covering water. Best way to find fish anywhere you go. Oh, that's probably a carp. Yeah, it was. Came off. Well, boys, first action of the day. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it was a little boy. Seen a couple of them jumping this morning. I was wondering when we'd run into them. But another thing to look for when you come up to spots, structure like this, right off that backside here, right off this point in the break of the water. A lot of times fish will hang right in that, well, right where he was, chilling out, right on the back side of there. Or a popular one, if you can come across some rapids, right up top the rapids, burning it parallel, or right below the rapids is always good too. And then here I'm just basically, there's rock and structure under here, so I'm just burning it through, on and around everything. Ooh, that cast got a little far. You definitely don't want to do what I just did. Not very good for your baits. Oh boys, that's a fish. What do we got? Oh, walleye. Barely got it. I'm gonna try to just flip him up. Stay pinned, baby. Alright, boys, first catch of the morning. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Yeah, he's a cute boy. Look at that, skin hooked. Look at that, look at them teeth. Cute boy. I do got a tape on my rod. He's nothing impressive, but just to get a size reference of the morning. About 17, looks like 17 right there, just getting covered. I give it 17. Good one to start the morning. Well, not the most graceful release I've ever had, but it's a start somewhere. That one's funny. That one came
right where my first cast was supposed to go, but instead I decided to cast it into the rock. Got back, made a better cast. Boom! Struck gold. Literally one of them little golden boys. I think we're gonna give this spot maybe 10 more minutes or so. And probably go to the next one. I don't know if you guys can see the cows or not, but bye cows. To the next one. Well, first thoughts about the second spot. It is stupid shallow, but we're going to give it one of those college efforts, I suppose. You never know. Oh, my goodness, he let off. Oh no. I don't know what that was. Something of the better variety, though. My guess is probably a carp. Probably loosen my drag a little bit, huh? Let them big boys run. Yeah, well, like I said, you never know. There are some fish over here. Another thing about this rock, why I like this, when the current comes and pushes it, I don't know if you can see the sandbank there, but it'll come and it just digs out all around it. So fish will sit right up in this break, right behind it. They'll sit right along this edge here, and they'll sit right off that sandbar. That's why I usually come up to a spot. You'll want to stay back a ways and parallel up to it so you don't spook the fish as you walk up. Just in case I fall, it might make for a funny video, I guess. We're gonna see how deep we got right here. Yeah, looking like about knee deep right here. Especially with how shallow the river is everywhere. This right here, plenty of water. Plenty of water to hide anything. And as you can see, this is about how deep the main majority is. So when you find these deeper pools like this, fish will be loaded in them, usually. Alright, so here's a good example of what to look for. You can see the coloration. That's that sandbank, that drop off. You're going to be sitting right in that deeper water. So the shore's a little deeper. Parallel that deep water right off those shallow flats. It's usually where it's going to happen. Well, boys, I think I got myself a carp here. That's exactly what we got ourselves. There's a little carp boy. I don't really need to say hi to you. He's a cute boy. But I also would like my lure back, please. There you go. Come on. There he goes. There's the release on that. Man, I thought I had a real fish. Ew. A lot of minnows down there. This is one I wish I had in a little spinner. especially with this little bit murkier water, which could have been from me walking upstream, but still a little spinner might be really good. We have found our deepest water all morning. Usually this is about chest deep on a normal level, and now we're down to groin. Ooh, bottom of the cheeks on the backside there. Still got some good depth left. This right here, if you guys can see the rapids up there, right below those rapids in this fast moving kind of in the still area here, usually where the fish are. Color change, we're going to this shad color of a mini banger, and we're going to give that a whirl. Oh yeah, boys. No! He hit it so hard he knocked the slack in it. Oh, come back. Oh, boys, hooked up. This dude be one of the guys that we're after. Get up here, cute boy. Yeah, these boys is psycho. Oh, please don't. Sir. Sir. Or ma'am. I don't know. Look at that. Now, here is the average size. Oh yeah, get them into the sun there. My favorite thing are the stripes on their heads. Throw them on the tape real quick. About 13 inches. Look at that small little mouth. Don't know how good the audio will be with this rushing water here, but look at this. It is beautiful. Parallel that deep water right off the rapids. This is right where you want to be. Especially when you're reeling crankbaits into the current. You want to slow them way down, because that current will just take it and drive it deep. So the faster you do it, the faster you crank, the deeper it's going to crank. But it's called a tree pounder, man. Ooh, something's got a little juice over there in that current. Looks like a little smaller. Or it could be a little walleye, actually. Smallmouth. Stay on. There he is. Switched colors in first cast. good that's on the camera. Cute little boy. First cast on that. I don't know what color it is, some kind of crowd color, but right in that break, way out there. Little release on him. Oh, that feels good. He hit it pretty much immediately. Of course, the camera wasn't on either, but still got him. Here it is. Not the day we were hoping for, but better than nothing. And basically, I just want to edit this video together, get one out to see what the whole process is going to be like. So, thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching.